Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good, Alhamdulillah. How are you, Kinza?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so how did you spend your weekend? Are you prepared for your test now?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think I am.
All right, that's great. So I think you should be giving the test tonight now. और अली ने भी
Okay,
नहीं दिया तो अली भी साहब रिकॉर्डिंग देख लें और दे दें आज शाम.
okay, ma'am.
All right. So let's continue. We had studied till offer. We completed offer. We discussed all about what it is and what it is not. Now, today we will be proceeding to the second part or the second part of the first point which of a contract or the first element of a contract, which is offer and
Accept.
acceptance, right? That's the first condition. That's the first criteria or element of a contract. There should be an offer, there should be an acceptance. We have completed offer. Now today we'll be starting with acceptance. Please read.
Acceptance must be an unqualified agreement to all the terms of the offer. Acceptance is generally not effective until communicated to the offer, except where the postal rule applies, in which case acceptance is complete and effective as soon as it is posted.
क्या कह रहे हैं?
Telling us that for acceptance, there is always a rule that, of course, there should be an offer. When there is an offer and you have accepted it, then it should be something somewhere posted. Like, for example, if I'm accepting the offer and I'm paying to the till, so I will get the bill. So it's posted that I have accepted this offer now.
Right. What is the postal rule? Now let's understand this. Acceptance must be an unqualified agreement to all the terms of the offer. Point to be noted. All the terms. If I am giving an offer to teach F4 and you as a student have accepted this offer, it means you are accepting or agreeing to all the terms of the offer. Now, all the terms means timing, all the terms means 1 month course, all the terms means, okay, you will be getting the recordings 5 days in a week. Accepting offer means you are accepting to attend the live online class, not recordings. You have not accepted for the recordings, okay?
Yes. Okay.
And getting the recording is a part of the offer that, okay, you will be getting the recording in case you miss the class, in case, you want to revise. That's the situation. But attending the live class is the condition. And you have agreed to it when you accept it. The acceptance is generally not effective until communicated to the offer. So point number one, all terms. Okay.
Ma'am,
Point number
unqualified
two,
agreement means informal.
unqualified means, see, when you say I accept, when you paid the money, did you say verbally, Kinza, that I accept your timing, I accept your days, I accept your 1 month course, I accept your
No,
live
no,
class?
no.
Did you
Okay, it's
say that
understood.
verbally?
No, no.
It's unqualified जो बोला और जो नहीं बोला उसमें सब कुछ शामिल है. Okay. The second point, communicated to the offerer. Now you think in your mind that, okay, I accept the offer, I want to study L4. And that's it. How am I supposed to know that you're interested? You have to take action. And for that action, you need to communicate that, okay, I'm ready. Just share with me the details, I want to pay. Okay. So you will be taking some action. And that action includes communication as well as, showing your intention to register or to accept the offer or to fulfilling the condition number one for the offer. The condition number one was first you need to pay and then you will take the classes and the classes will begin. Okay, so that was part of the offer. That condition was part of the offer. And how you communicated to us, you took the first step or you fulfilled the first condition. You took that action. You communicated. That's point number two. Except where the postal rule applies. Now there is an exception. Exception.
Sometimes like from school, If like I'm applying for a school, I will get, if I am like they're okay with me, they're giving me the admission, or the university, they will post me. So is it that postal rule?
Postal rule means, yes, it means to post.
By post.
But
Yeah.
when if you just look at this textbook was written years ago.
Yeah.
The
Now it's
law
email. Yeah.
the law was
But
made and
still
this
sometimes,
basics.
yeah, but sometimes like if you're doing for the property, we still are expecting the postal, because sometimes the postal rule still applies.
Exactly. And especially we are talking about UK law. So I think UK still
Yes.
operates with these
Yes, they do.
posts, right? So in which case acceptance is complete and effective as soon as it is posted. So what is the exception to the rule? First of all, you tell me what is the rule for acceptance?
It should be communicated
It should be communicated to whom?
to the person who has given the offer.
To the offerer.
Yeah,
And
offer.
now what is the exception to the rule?
Exception, sometimes there is a postal rule. As soon as the post is dispatched, you are under that agreement.
Right. Once the letter, the acceptance letter has been posted, it means you have accepted the offer.
Yeah.
Whether the acceptance letter reaches the offerer or not, despite of the fact you posted it, your side of the action is complete.
Okay, now you can't change the mind.
You can't change the mind. Your side of the acceptance is complete and effective as soon as it is posted.
Okay.
Okay, I hope this part gets clear now. Next.
Yes.
Okay, here's a case. Here's a case. It's a simple case. Uh, yes, please read. Broaden versus Metropolitan Railway Company, 1877.
The fact. For many years, the claimant supplied coal to the defendant. He suggested that they should enter into a written agreement, and defendant's agent sent a draft to him for consideration. The parties applied to their dealings the terms of the draft agreement, but they never signed a final version. The claimant later denied that there was any agreement between him and the defendant. Decision. The conduct of the parties was only explicable on the assumption that they both agreed to the terms of the draft. Okay, they are saying that they made a contract. First, they were dealing like for a very long time, but then they decided we should definitely have a contract so that we can just write down the rules and sign it. They wrote down the rules. It took a little time. They made it into the consideration, made the agreement, but they did never sign it. Now they have a dispute, and now the claimant is saying, as it was never signed, so he will not agree to the agreement. But the decision was made that no, that's okay, you did not sign it, but you had the intention, you made the agreement, you were taking the initiative, so you will have to accept it now. It's almost the same as if you have signed it.
Right. So now what is the case over here? What is the case over here? They are saying that they sent the draft agreement, but it wasn't signed.
Yeah.
And therefore the claimant denied that there was any agreement between them, and he stopped supplying the coal, or he did not he stopped supplying the coal because for many years the claimant supplied the coal to the defendant. And because you keep on sending the new contract every year, maybe the contract gets renewed, and also he sent the draft agreement and that was not signed. So he refused to supply the coal. And the claimant then he went to the court. He said कि भाई इसने तो मुझे सप्लाई ही नहीं किया कोल, या मैंने सप्लाई किया उसने पेमेंट ही नहीं की. The conduct of the parties is only explicable on the assumption that they both agreed to the terms of the draft. क्या कह रहे हैं? Decision क्या आया कोर्ट की तरफ से?
The conduct of the parties was only explicable on the assumptions that they both agreed to the terms, and yeah, they were assuming that they have made it, they both must have agreed to it, that's why they made the agreement, although they have not signed it yet, but they must have agreed to it.
कोर्ट का फैसला क्या आता है? The court says that no, both of you agreed to the terms, even
Yeah.
despite the fact you did not sign. There was an
Right.
oral
So
agreement.
yeah, so it will be considered as if like you have signed it, like you were agreeing to the agreement. That's why you made it.
Exactly. So here the acceptance can be through express words or by action or inferred from conduct. यानी जरूरी नहीं है कि आपने राइट डाउन करके साइन करके ही अग्रीमेंट साइन करना. You can even enter into a contract using your words or just by action. Like for example, you order pizza or you ordered some food from some online food app.
Yeah. Although we
What you
never
do?
sign any agreement, but obviously we are bound to get it when they are at home. They are delivering our
Right.
goods.
You just filled a order form. You just filled order form. Neither did you pay cash, nor did you sign. Nothing. You just filled the order form. You wrote down your address and your number. That's it. And that person delivered the food at your doorstep with the assumption that you have promised to pay. You have placed the order.
Yeah.
So over there, no words have been used. "Hey, मैं पक्का वादा करता हूँ, मैं आपको payment करूँगा." It's just by action. You place the order and they came to your doorstep to deliver the food. And therefore you have to pay. No words used, no sign, but this is
Yeah.
done
But
by
it is
action.
obvious. Yeah.
All right. Next. Silence. Please read.
There must be some act on the part of the offeree to indicate their acceptance. There
What does
must
it
be an
say?
act on the part of the offeree to indicate their. Okay, when we are accepting it, the offeree should act something on it. Like for example, I am accepting it. I'm going to the school. I'm saying, okay, I'm accepting your offer. Then they will definitely give me another document that okay, from that day you will be coming. So there should be an action after the acceptance has been made. The offeree shouldn't be silent. If the offeree is silent, that means it's not final yet.
Yes. वो कहते हैं ना कि निकाह में अगर लड़की कबूल है नहीं बोले, खामोश रहे, तो वो उसकी नीम रजामंदी ही मानी जाती है, right? So this is not the case in a contract. This is not the case in the contract. If you're silent, that means nothing. You have not accepted the offer. But yes, if you act upon it, that means Kinza did not say verbally or did not WhatsApp us that she accepts the offer,
But
but
ma'am,
she
you were
just
saying that
transfers the
once,
payment.
yeah, but you were saying that once it's posted, they have, once it's done, then we cannot change it. Then
That's
it's
the
final.
postal rule. You
Yeah.
have posted, you are doing an action. You're posting the
Okay.
letter.
Okay, okay.
तो इवन अगर खामोशी है आपकी एक्शन बता रहे हैं, निकाह में भी जब लड़की बैठती है और वो कुछ नहीं बोलती, तो वो बैठी है ना सच के दुल्हन की तरह, ये उसका एक्शन शो कर रहा है दैट शी इज रेडी. अगर उसको नहीं होना था या उसकी तरफ से ना है, she wouldn't have
So
got
when
ready.
you उठा के they just went there and asked, okay, do you want to sign it? Obviously, then it's not an act. If she's
Exactly. So
ready,
she has
everything is
acted
done.
upon it. So why did she
Yeah.
act if she did not agree?
That's right.
So that's why in that scenario also the action is showing that she agrees. And if अगर उसको बिल्कुल नहीं करना था, she could have reacted or shouted or done something कि जिससे इजहार हो कि नहीं, she does not agree. But because her action are showing the positive signs, which means she agrees. So same goes for the contract. Silence. Okay, next. Acceptance subject to contract. What does this mean? Please read.
Acceptance is it's okay. I am accepting the offer, but whatever the contract has written the agreements, whatever the agreement contract states that after that I am accepting the offer.
Acceptance is subject to contract means किंजा ने बिना बताए व्हाट्सएप पे बिना इन्फॉर्म किए बस ट्रांसफर कर दिए पैसे. ठीक है।
हम्म।
और किन्जा ने बताया भी नहीं कि भाई मैं जो हूँ, स्क्रीनशॉट भी नहीं भेजा कि मैंने पेमेंट कर दी
और
है।
हो सकता है कि क्लासेस कैंसिल हो गई हूँ, नहीं हो रही हूँ, एंड आई वाज जस्ट
बिल्कुल
अज्यूमिंग कि मैंने देखा ऐड एंड आई जस्ट पेड इट डायरेक्टली विदाउट
बिल्कुल
इवन आस्किंग।
बिल्कुल, या आपने एक हफ्ते पहले बात की थी और अब 20 दिन
हम्म।
गुजर गए हैं इस बात को,
अब वो
और
मे बी
अब बीस
डेट्स
दिन
नहीं
बाद
हो।
आपने पेमेंट कर दी और आपने ना इन्फॉर्म किए ना स्क्रीनशॉट भेजे।
हम्म।
So acceptance should be subject to contract. That means कि contract में बाज़ औक़ात लिखा होता है कि आप अगर एक्सेप्ट करते हो तो आपको ये करना हो, यानी आपको गाइड किया गया था कि किन्जा इफ यू एक्सेप्ट टू एनरोल योरसेल्फ इन द कोर्स यू नीड टू लेट अस नो, you need to share with us the screenshot of the payment you do.
Yeah.
That's the action you need to take. अगर आप वो ना करो और बस हमें क्या पता किन्जा ने भेजा है, हमें तो नहीं पता उसके
हम्म।
तरफ से आई है पेमेंट, so we don't know. Moreover, it will be guided to you that Kinza, this offer is valid only for a week. Like if you decide after a week, then this offer will, might not be available,
Yeah.
right? Next, subject to contract can also mean, like for example, land आप sale कर रहे हैं, and the person who is offering for sale he asks you that देखें ये ऑफर जो है सिर्फ 15 दिन के लिए वैलिड है, और अगर आप एक्सेप्ट करते हैं मेरी ऑफर को तो आपने एडवांस 50% अभी के अभी, मतलब 2 दिन के अंदर ला के देने हैं।
हम्म।
अगर आपने एडवांस दे दिए तो ये जमीन आपकी, फिर आप इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में देते रहना पाएंगे,
Yeah,
बट
and
अभी फिफ्टी
sometimes
परसेंट
it's the case. Yeah, and sometimes it's the case that we ask them that, okay, if you are a first buyer, first seller, we don't want to get into trouble. So if you are the one selling it, then it's okay. Otherwise, we are not looking for other people.
Right, so you need to give instructions. The offerer must give clear instructions about how the acceptance is expected or needs to happen. Next, letters of intent. Please
Letter
read.
of intents are an indication by one party to another that they may place a contract with them. Okay, it's just like they have not decided, they are just making up their mind. It's just like a standing order, I guess. They have the intention to sign the agreement with you so that you just make yourself available, and then later they will just let you know the final thing.
Right, letters of intent are an indication by one party to another that they may place a contract with them.
Yeah.
Intention show karna, it can be sending a letter that I intend to get myself enrolled with your institute, or I'm
Yeah.
looking for more information or guidance on this. These are the
Yeah.
letters of intent. Okay, can you please read?
Thus, a building contractor trending for a large construction contract may need to subcontract certain specialist aspects for the work. The subcontractor will be asked to provide an estimate so that the main contractor can finalize their own tender. Okay, sometimes it happens that there are two contractors, like the main contractor, like for example, you are giving me some job and I am giving somebody else, my junior, that assigning that job. So obviously, when I am assigning any job to my junior, but I need to ask you first, you have the authority. So this is the way they just align together.
Right. Next.
Usually, a letter of intent is awarded so as not to create any legal obligation. However, in some cases, it may be phrased so that it includes an invitation to commence preliminary
Preliminary.
preliminary work. In such circumstances, it creates an obligation to pay for that work. Like, for example, I'm hiring somebody else, junior me, but I'm telling that person that I'm not I don't have any legal obligation. I just need to ask my Misha first, and then I'll let you know. So this is we don't have any legal obligation, but sometimes in some cases there are big contracts, and I have to be bounded because that person is holding their time for me or giving me something. So okay, I'm legally I'm bound, but on the other hand, I'm not bound for the whole project. If I he has worked like for 1 week for me, then I will just pay for 1 week and I'll tell them, no, I'm sorry, I won't be able to continue with you.
Right. Can you have explained it well? Can you give me an example?
Just like I have a construction company, or maybe I have accounts office. So my boss has given me some job, and he's asking me to just you know uh, get the computers maybe done, or maybe some update some software. So I'm hiring somebody else, and I am hiring a person, and I'm asking him to just upgrade all my laptops. And on the other hand, then he's giving me quotations, and then I have to ask my boss again, that my boss, see, I'm getting these quotations, and he's a very nice man. I think we should definitely hire him. So it's just like I'm a bridge between two of them.
Okay, okay. You can even remember this example. Usually, when you call upon a person to do interior designing for any place, they come, they look at your things, and before we enter into a contract, before we finally give him the the engagement to interior design for us, what we do, we ask him that okay, wo kya karte hain, measurements pehle lete hain, and then he shows us a small display or demonstration,
Yeah,
okay, on the PowerPoint, or on the, you can call it a digital plan. He
yeah,
shows us the digital plan, and that digital plan itself is time taking, and he has invested his time and energy in planning out that okay, इस रूम को कैसा लगना चाहिए, इस दीवार पे क्या होना चाहिए, इस दीवार पे क्या होना चाहिए, वहाँ क्या होना चाहिए, वहाँ क्या होना चाहिए. So he comes up and he shows me the plan. Now once I look at the plan, I say, अच्छा ठीक है, quote करें, and he gives the quotation, but somehow or the other I'm not happy with it ना. आई से ओके फाइन, मतलब ठीक है आपने बनाया है, मगर मजा नहीं आ रहा ना मुझे. सो ही सेज दैट ओके, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ प्लान यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, आप बताओ आपको क्या चाहिए. मैंने यहाँ पे पूरा ग्लास वर्क सेटअप किया है, मतलब हर जगह ग्लास ही ग्लास का टच है. तो आई से नो, आई लाइक वुडन वर्क ना, आई वांटेड टू बी मोर वुडन काइंड ऑफ अ प्लेस. तो बोलता है अच्छा ठीक है, मैं इसको रीडिजाइन कर देता हूँ, मगर जो मैंने डिजाइन किया उसके चार्जेस हैं, रीडिजाइन अगर आप करवाते हैं, चेंज करवाते हैं, तो उसके मिनिमम और चार्जेस हैं. और अगर आपको पसंद आता है, आप लॉक करते हैं एंगेजमेंट, तो उसके ये चार्जेस हैं. और अगर आप लॉक नहीं करते, तो आपको, अगर आप लॉक करते हैं तो आपको ये डिजाइनिंग चार्जेस नहीं देने पड़ेंगे, क्योंकि वो
exactly.
आपके लॉक में ही इंक्लूडेड है. मगर
Hmm.
अगर आप लॉक नहीं करेंगे मेरे साथ ये एंगेजमेंट, सो यू हैव टू पे फॉर द प्लान.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's how the thing works. Now that plan is called preliminary work. This plan is known as the preliminary work, and this I just gave you an example of interior designing. It happens with a lot of companies, construction companies, you can call, or
yeah.
other businesses you might have observed around, right? So moving next, acceptance of a tender. As we saw earlier, an invitation for tenders is an invitation to treat.
Great.
A tender to perform one task, such as building a new hospital, is an offer, which can be accepted by the person who sent an invitation to treat.
Yeah,
The tender to supply or perform a series of things can be like supplying vegetables, supplying grocery to the supermarket, could be food to a restaurant, anything, right?
right.
Counter offers and requests for information. What are counter offers, Kinza?
Offers. Shall I read?
No, you just explain by in your own words. We have done this. We have discussed these two words: information, request for information, and counter offer.
Okay, countering the offer, accepting it.
Not accepting the offer, but
Sorry,
giving your own
actually,
offer. Okay, I
sorry?
offered you F4 course, but Kinza says no, I want to study F5.
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, I'm offering
Just
you
adjusting
F4,
adjusting your offer according to something in my mind.
changing your offer slightly according to your terms and conditions. So
Yeah.
that makes
Or maybe
makes it
you were
counter
offering a
offer.
physical class, and I was just interested in the online stuff.
Online,
So I was like
maybe I'm
maybe
offering
countering
online
your.
live. You're just interested in recording.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a counter offer. And then request for information is just you're taking more information queries.
Yeah.
अच्छा, ये इसका क्या है, इसका क्या है. All right. Next, communication of acceptance. So we have done this, that the general rule is that number one, it must be communicated, and that number two, all terms and conditions are agreed upon, right? Next, waiver of communication. Waiver of communication means where we read in the case Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball that the advertisement or the offer in the newspaper just said कि use करो और अगर आप बीमार पड़ो तो हमसे claim करो, खत्म बात. They don't want a communication of acceptance. The action itself or the fulfilling of the agreement itself becomes the acceptance, and that is where sometimes the contracts waiver communication. Okay, next, prescribed mode of communication. Sometimes the contract, the businesses, they prescribe कि भाई आपने अगर accept करना है, do give me a call or do give me a WhatsApp call or email me or post me. They might specify कि आप कैसे contact करो. So that is prescribed mode of communication. No mode of communication prescribed. और अगर कोई कम्युनिकेशन मेथड प्रिस्क्राइब नहीं किया हुआ एक्सेप्टेंस का, देन इट इज अंडरस्टूड कि जिस तरह से उन्होंने ऑफर दिया है आपको उसी तरीके से एक्सेप्ट करना. If I have verbally come to your house and given you a proposal, so you can either tell me on the spot or you may call me up and tell me your answer, and either that way or the other way. I won't be accepting a letter of post from you.
Exactly.
Right? So if no mode of communication is prescribed, you have to choose the reasonable one. Either you can use the same mode which the other person used, or you may use any reasonable one. Next, the postal rule. The postal rule we have read. Please read it again because it's important.
The offer may expressly or by implication indicate that they accept acceptance by means of a letter sent through the post. The postal rule states that where the use of post is within the contemplation of both the parties, the acceptance is complete and effective as soon as a letter is posted, even though it may be delayed or even lost altogether in the post.
The post. जब by post answer आना, acceptance आना is in the contemplation, or both the parties are expecting कि हाँ through post ही communication होगी, तो acceptance becomes complete and valid and effective as soon as the letter is posted, even despite the fact that it does not reach the offerer due to some reason. Maybe it's lost, maybe it got delayed.
Yeah.
All right, here's the case Adams versus Linsell. Please read.
The defendant made an offer by letter to the claimant on 2nd September 1817, required an answer in code of the post. It reached the claimant on 5th September. They immediately posted a letter of acceptance, which reached the defendant on 9th September. The defendant could have accepted a reply by 7th September, and they assumed that the absence of a reply within the expected period indicates non-acceptance and sold the goods to another buyer on 8th September. Decision. The acceptance was made in code of post. No time limit was imposed. And was effective when posted on 5th September. Okay. They
Does
have
this
sent.
make it clear?
Yeah, no, it's clear.
Right. So 5 तारीख को भेजा गया, 9 तारीख को जवाब आया, ठीक है,
Exactly.
वो एक्सपेक्ट
So
कर रहे
they
थे 7
already
तक आ
sold
जाएगा
the
जवाब,
goods.
उन्होंने ऑलरेडी 8 को बेच दिया. तो क्या कोर्ट ने क्या फैसला सुनाया कि नहीं, 5th को लेटर पोस्ट हो गया था तो मतलब एक्सेप्टेंस मुकम्मल हो गई थी, और कब हो गई थी, 7 से पहले ही हो गई थी. सो यू हैव टू गेट हिम the offer, you have to stand by your offer. Next,
Yeah.
the intention to use the post for communication of acceptance may be deduced from the circumstances. All right, so intention भी देखनी होगी कि नियत थी पोस्ट करने की या नहीं थी, तो वो सारी बातें
Because sometimes सिर्फ दिखाने के लिए that we are not being biased and we have posted it and we have written the time limit, but we are saying you have to accept it in 2 days. So obviously there's a common sense that 2 days the post cannot go and come back. So this is
Exactly.
like, it should be, the intention should be clear, and we should be given a normal time, a feasible time.
Kinza F4 कैसा लग रहा है as a subject?
अब तो अच्छा लग रहा है, बट सीरियसली आई हैव बीन ट्राइंग अ लॉट कि मैं इसको कवर कर लूं. इट वाज लाइक ऑल थ्योरी, यूट्यूब पे लेक्चर्स थे, बट आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू फाइंड इट सो बोरिंग एंड ड्राई बिकॉज इट्स ऑल थ्योरी. So I just asked Ma'am Isha, कि Ma'am Isha, please help me out. I'm really just, I can't do it F4 on my own. So then obviously she told me about you, and mashallah से I'm really enjoying it now.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, that's great. मगर टेस्ट आपने लाजमी देना है, ओके किंजा, और
जी जी,
आज ही आप
definitely I'll be
दोगे.
giving it to you.
So
Done,
that because
inshallah.
आज टेस्ट आप देंगे टेस्ट 1, then next week would be test 2. Okay, so
Yeah,
this way
okay,
you'll keep on preparing along with the course as the course completes, goes towards
that's right.
completion.
I'll do that. Yeah.
All right, the second case of the day, Household Fire and Carriage Accident Insurance Company versus Grant 1879. Facts क्या बता रहे हैं? पढ़िए.
The defendant handed a letter of application for shares to the claimant company's agent in Swansea for posting the company in London. The company posted an acceptance which never arrived. The defendant was called upon to pay the amount outstanding on his shares. The defendant had to pay. The contract had been formed when the acceptance was posted, regardless of fact that it was lost. Okay. Just like you were telling, giving the example first, that as soon as they have posted it, that means they have accepted. So no matter the other person has received it or not, it was lost, they have not received, that doesn't matter. You have made the acceptance, you have posted the letter, so it's from your end, it's all done.
Sorry. So, Kinza, can you tell me that is the postal rule a general law or an exception to the law?
It's a it's a general law.
Think again.
Oh, sorry, no, exception. Because in every case, you're not bound to post. It's an exception. There are some cases in which you are expecting the post, not in all cases.
No, there is one more reason, which is the basic reason to make it the exception to the law. And what is it?
That all the contracts are not written.
What
Is
are
it
we
that?
talking about, Kinza? We are talking about acceptance. What's the
Okay,
general law for acceptance?
communication
Communication to whom?
to the offer,
To the offerer,
offerer, yeah,
right? Acceptance,
to the
communication to
offer,
the offerer.
yeah,
Acceptance, all terms and conditions will be accepted.
yeah.
So these are the two general laws for acceptance. What are the two general laws for acceptance? Number one, it must be communicated to the offerer. Number two, all the terms must be agreed upon. So that makes it the general law for acceptance. And what is the exception? The exception is the postal rule, that over here, the communication to the offerer is not necessary. What is necessary? That you post it within the date.
Yeah.
Once it is
Okay.
posted, and it must be in the contemplation of both the parties, that the acceptance will come through post.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the exception. Okay. So here the party was not informed, and the party was completely unaware that the letter has been sent, the letter of acceptance. So the decision came from the court that even though the party did not know about it, the letter has been posted, and therefore the contract has been formed because the acceptance is complete.
Okay.
Next, read from here.
But it's a very there is a very big negative point about the post. Like, uh, I'm a state agent, okay? So I'm a landlord, and I have landlords and I have tenants, and I'm just the bridge in between them. So what happens, like for example, some tenants, they're not giving us the rent. So what we do, we just send them the letters, postal letters, and then they have to just empty up the property or whatever. But sometimes it happens that they didn't get the post or something like that. So what happens, that they are bound, they are told that no, the state agency, they have given you the letters, it's been like 3 months, they are sending you the letters, no matter you were at home or not, you didn't get the post, but they have posted, so now you have to just listen to them. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's like this post is
Yeah, it's silly.
it's, yeah.
It's silly. For me,
Because
it's
if you talk about
obsolete.
like email, yeah, exactly. But in
Because
UK, we
आजकल
still
पोस्ट
are
कौन
following
करता
the
है?
post.
आजकल
True.
पोस्ट करता कौन है?
But
हम
in UK, if
पोस्ट
you go to any other house, you will see they've got a lot of post on every door. A lot of paper, lot of posts there. And in Pakistan, we hardly see any posts.
हार्डली सी वी हैव
Yeah.
फॉरगॉटन कि ये भी कोई नाम की भी चीज
Exactly. ये भी
एग्जिस्ट
कोई
करती
चीज
थी.
होती है.
आई
We always just
रिमेम्बर
look forward for the emails.
I remember in my childhood days, I used to collect the stamps. My dad
Exactly.
used
Yeah.
to
Same.
send letters and he used to get so many stamps. So I had this hobby of stamp collection. I
Collecting.
had 4 to 5 big stamp books.
Oh.
So many stamps I collected of every country in the world.
Uh-huh.
So now it's all obsolete, right?
Exactly.
Next. And always remember means whenever we are talking about law, देखो मेरी जान, ये जिंदगी की हकीकत है. अगर किंसा तुम अभी मुझे बोलो ना कि मैम यार ये पता है ये तो गलत है, ऑब्सोलीट है, मतलब ये तो रूल बहुत इम्प्रैक्टिकल है,
Mhm.
ठीक है, मेरे पास मैं तुम्हें एक बता सकती हूँ, अगर ये रूल मैंने बनाया होता ना, आई हैव द लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट. आई विल गिव यू माई लॉजिक एंड देन व्हेन आई विल गिव यू माई लॉजिक यू विल से हाँ बात तो सही है, बात तो सही है, ठीक है. सो फ्रॉम योर परस्पेक्टिव यू आर सीइंग इट अ 6. You're not wrong. From my
Yeah.
perspective, I'm seeing it a 9. Neither am
That's
I
right.
wrong.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
who
But
is
I,
right?
yeah,
Who is
true.
right? Who is wrong? If both are right in our own perspectives, तो judge फैसला क्या सुनाएगा?
Hmm. इसीलिए तो judges बैठे हैं to check कि intention, what
इसीलिए
was the
जजेस
real
तो बैठे
intention
हुए हैं,
behind
मगर जो
it.
सबसे बड़ा जज है ना, वो
हाँ.
ही सही फैसला कर सकता है. Because even the
True.
judges who pass the law, who pass the judgment, might be wrong, might pass a
Yeah,
wrong judgment. There is a possibility.
definitely.
देर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी. अब जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल यही केस उठा लो पोस्टल रूल का. Now you are saying that I was not at home, I didn't know, I did not get the letter. Had I known it earlier, I would have left the house. Give me some time.
Exactly.
Give me some time to find another house. And I'm saying no, since I already sent so many letters. And I've been
Yeah.
sending since 3 months now. How many letters? Am I wrong? No. Are you wrong? No.
No,
What will the
no.
judge do? What will the judge do? I want my place right now today. That's it. Full stop. I have given the date. Today is the deadline. You
Mhm.
are saying, give me 1 more month at least. Where will I go? I'll become homeless. अब जज को
You
तो एक
know what?
फैसला सुनाना है ना,
You
या वो
know what
आपका
the
साथ
judge
देगा
will
या
do
मेरा
if
साथ
you,
देगा.
yeah, if you ask me about London, you know what the judge will do? Judge will say, okay, are you living alone with your kid or are you living with, is there a kid in a house? I will say, yes, I've got a kid. Judge will say, okay, you can stay for the whole year. Enjoy. There are a lot of rules for the tenants. You cannot even talk to them badly. The tenant can say,
So
because of
there,
your wall, my kid got sick and I didn't go to the office. Now I will have to pay to the tenant for the 6 months. The fees getting from his office, I have to give him that fees and he can just enjoy and party with the kid. So they just misuse it like anything. Everybody, because they have human rights there, proper human rights.
proper human rights. See here where human right law comes in. यानी postal rule अपनी जगह, मगर if
Yes,
it is
they just don't consider anything else when there's a kid in the house, when there are women. So they just don't think of anybody else.
that's surprising to know. Because we
Ask
don't
me.
usually expect this kind of a thing from an
Yes, yes, yes,
authoritative
yes.
person.
They do. Yeah, they do. They don't listen to anything else. They are so touchy about, women and kids. And kids, they don't even trust you on your kids. They come to your house, they check your kids every time. They can come anytime they want. They don't even let you know. They're not bound to let you know. They will come to your house, open it up. They will check how are you dealing with the kids? What is the condition of your room, your washroom, your kitchen? Are you following all the rules? And they can just take away your kid anytime they want to. You cannot even ask them why.
Not even parents, like,
Yeah. Not even parents. I'm talking about the parents. Parents cannot even say anything. They can take your kids away and give to any other family.
oh my God. I can't even imagine that.
Yes, yeah, my brother lives there, so he's always very careful about like everything okay in the house. There's no, you have to, everything should be licensed. If there's a kid in the house, the stairs, he has to make sure everything is perfect. Because when the midwives comes in, they check, they just check everything in very detail, and you have to be very, vigilant with
Interesting.
it.
Interesting. It's actually interesting because I've
Yeah.
seen parents over here how careless we are becoming with our own children.
Exactly, with their own children. There is
And it
no,
is, it is right now I can see the practicality behind it or the logic behind it because look at
yeah,
our parents over here, like they're just they feel or they treat the children as their property. It's our property,
exactly.
हमारी मर्जी, मैं माँ हूँ, जैसे मर्जी आए बात करूँ बच्चे से. Even she does not allow the father to intervene. Usually I see.
Interrupt. Yeah, that's right.
So, and जो मर्जी आए करो, क्या बच्चे हैं, and they do lot of crazy things which an educated person will never do with their children
Yeah.
if he knows that ये उसके बच्चे के लिए ठीक नहीं है. Anyways, let's get back to the topic, cross offers. What is a cross offer? Please read. Now this
If
is
to,
not a counter offer. Okay, this
yeah,
is cross offer. In the exam, make sure you keep these two different. You don't mess up with these two. Counter offer, आपने कहा मुझे F4 पढ़, मैंने कहा मैं F4 पढ़ाऊंगी, आपने कहा नहीं नहीं मुझे तो F5 पढ़ना है. मैंने कहा मैं F4 पढ़ाऊंगी लाइव, आपने कहा नहीं नहीं मुझे तो रिकॉर्डिंग चाहिए. That is a counter offer. Cross offer, what is cross offer? Please read.
if two offers identical in terms cross in the post, there is no contract. For example, if A offers to sell their car to B for 1,000 and B offers to buy A's car for 1,000, there is no contract because there is no acceptance. Okay. For example, you are selling me a phone. You said, okay, I am selling my phone for 1,000. And I said, okay, I'm looking for a phone for 1,000. But that doesn't mean that we both have actually agreed on one thing. It's not a contract till now. It's not an acceptance. I didn't say that I want your phone. Okay, I'm okay with your phone. I did not say that.
So they are saying that two identical offers are being sent through the post at the same time. I say, Kinza, I want to sell my car. I'm offering my car to you. And on the same day, you also thought the same thing that yes, I want to buy Miss Isha's car. I really like it. बोलने में क्या जा रहा है? ज़्यादा तो मना कर देंगी, but let's ask. So I send a letter to you, you send me the same letter. And we both are offering each other about the same thing. Right? So in that scenario, it becomes nullified. Offer, cancel.
But why? If like we both had the intention to buy that car and you have the intention and even the letters have been posted, so why not it's an
In this case, can you define who is the offerer and who is the acceptor?
you are the offerer, I'm the...
You are also the
Okay, you
offerer.
are actually, I'm offerer. Okay.
If you देखो एक चीज याद रखो प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में ठीक है मैंने सोचा मैं अपनी गाड़ी तुम्हें ऑफर करती हूँ फॉर सेल तुमने सोचा मैं ईशा की गाड़ी खरीदना चाह रही हूँ ठीक है मगर ये जरूरी तो नहीं ना कि हम एक ही टर्म्स पे खरीदना चाह रहे हैं या बेचना चाह रहे हैं आई माइट बी willing to sell you after a month. You might be willing to
maybe
buy
मेरी
now.
intention, yeah. Okay.
Identical in terms, some terms might be identical, some terms might be different.
Yeah.
Okay, so मैं एक्सेप्ट करूं आपका या आप मेरा करोगे कुछ पता नहीं बिकॉज वी आर इन अ कंफ्यूज स्टेट नाउ because it
Yeah.
can happen that I have sent you the offer letter, you have sent me the offer letter, you receive it within a day, maybe I receive it after 2 days, right? So when I sent you that offer I might think that अरे ये तो उसने काउंटर ऑफर नहीं भेज दिया और मैंने ऑफर भेजा है लेट मी वेट मे बी शी विल एक्सेप्ट माय ऑफर. So neither am I accepting nor you're accepting or either of us will accept it or either of us might think it's a counter offer. There is so much of confusion to be created. There is
Okay.
a chance of confusion rather than a simple decision. So in order to avoid the chaos and confusion, these two offers cancel, nullify. Now again we need to talk upon it because ये अब यहाँ पे कहानी किस पे हो रही है, post पे हो रही है. Okay, it's happening in the post.
Yeah,
If it happens over the call, then we can decide
obviously,
mutually,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
But
right.
because the post is involved, it becomes a little bit riskier.
Okay.
So there is no contract because there is no acceptance. It's only two offers are going here and there. Next, unilateral contracts. What are unilateral contracts? Now, by the name itself, it suggests something. Can you tell?
Uni means one.
Uni means
Lateral.
one. That means it is one-sided contract.
Okay.
Okay. Now, one-sided how? The question
But
arises as to whether contractual obligations arise if a party, in ignorance of an offer, performs an act which fulfills the terms of the offer. Now, when can it happen? For example, I lost my pet. Okay, my pet dog. I lost it while I was going for a walk. I don't know. It just disappeared. मैं परेशान हूँ कि अरे मैं अपने साथ डॉग लेकर आई थी, कहाँ चला गया, I'm looking for it everywhere, I can't find it. So what I do, as soon as I go home, I call up the newspaper people, I call up whoever I can call कि please मेरा dog गुम हो गया है, मुझे please मैं आपको तस्वीर भेजती हूँ, anyone whoever knows it, please return it to me at this address or contact me at this number. I will give you a reward if you find the dog for me, please. Okay, so I make this kind of an advertisement, I put it up on social media, I send it on the newspaper, I send it to police and everybody that please look for my dog in the neighborhood, everywhere I send this message. एंड बस 10 मिनट ही मैं फोन रख ही रही हूँ ये सब बातचीत करके कि 10 मिनट में ये शख्स आ जाता है मेरा डॉग लेके. And this person, I don't know him, he doesn't know me, he's a complete stranger, he was also just walking in the park and he saw me with the dog, so he just found the dog and he followed. He is completely unaware of the reward that I've said, the ad that I've placed, he's completely unaware, he's just out of kindness, out of human act to help, he comes and he returns me the dog. So in this case, when he goes back, he क्योंकि अब तो मैंने कॉल पे बोल दिया, अब तो वो अब छप गया होगा, अब अगले दिन आ गया होगा. तो now he looks at it and he says, अरे मैंने तो डॉग दे दिया और इसके अंदर तो रिवॉर्ड रखा था, मैं जाके ले रहा हूँ रिवॉर्ड अपना. And he goes again, look, there is a reward, I returned your dog, give me my reward. And she says, no, कहाँ का रिवॉर्ड, आपको तो पता भी नहीं था, आप खुद ही से लेकर आए थे, मैं नहीं दे रही रिवॉर्ड. ठीक है. So in this case, what will the court do? The court will say, yes, he was unaware, he was ignorant of the offer, therefore there was no acceptance to the offer.
Okay.
Okay?
So the case will be in your favor.
Yes, because
Okay. Because
सबसे
it's,
पहले तो
if he was
acceptance किसकी
expecting, he
होती
should
है?
have get it done, yeah, at the same moment.
Exactly. He did it by his own instinct to help, his own,
Yeah.
out of kindness, not out of knowing the offer and then accepting the offer.
Okay.
Okay, G, next. R versus Clark, 1927. Please read.
A reward was offered for information leading to the arrest of conviction of a murderer. Indeed, if the information was provided by an accompliance, he
Accomplice.
would he would receive a free pardon. C claimed the reward, admitting that he had acted to save his own skin and that all thought of the reward has passed out his mind. There could be no acceptance without knowledge of the offer. This is the same, I think you just.
Same case, simple.
Yeah.
Acceptance may still be valid even if the offer was not the sole reason for the action. What does that mean? Let's read the case. Williams versus Cowardine.
A reward was offered to bring criminals to book. The claimant and compliance is in the crime
An
supplied
accomplice.
accomplice in the crime supplied the information with knowledge of reward. As the information was as the information was given with knowledge, the acceptance was related to the
The
offer.
offer, and therefore it is a valid acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay जी, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay, the example for a unilateral contract, that means a one-sided contract, could be Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoothball again, and it could also be that
Even the criminal
one,
book one.
yeah, that one, the dog one. It's a
Yeah.
one-sided offer, and because nobody accepted it, or he was not aware of the offer, so he accepted. He did out of kindness. Next, collateral contracts. What is a collateral contract? Please read.
In certain circumstances, the courts may infer the existence of a contract without the formalities of offer and acceptance. This type of a contract is a collateral contract. Collateral contract.
Collateral.
Mhm.
UK version, American version.
Okay.
Alright. So, what is a collateral contract?
When there are no formalities of offers and acceptance, when it's just a general, there is no need for formalities.
Okay. A collateral contract is a contract where
Maybe between a
consideration is
family,
provided,
maybe.
where the consideration is provided by the making of another contract. For example, if there are two separate contracts, one between A and B and one between A and C, on terms which involve some concerted action between B and C, there may be a contract between C and. All right. Collateral means what? Very simple. You are a student, okay? I am a tutor, okay? And there is someone in between us, it's the institute, okay? So the contract is between the student and the institute, okay? You're studying from ISAR School of Accountancy. And the contract is between institute and the tutor. ISAR School of Accountancy has hired me as the tutor for this subject, okay?
Okay.
The actual performance or obligation is between these two, yes or no?
Yes.
Right? I am supposed to deliver and you are supposed to receive, and then you are the one who is paying and I am supposed to receive. But in between the real contract, if we just talk about the legal form, the contract is between student and the institute, and there is another contract. Now let us name this contract as A and this contract as B. Okay, so there is a contract A, there is a contract B. The contract A is between student and institute, and contract B is between institute and the teacher. So indirectly, the contract is between B and the contract is between S and T, that is student and teacher, which can be known as contract C. But this does
Okay.
not exist in paper. This exists in the economic reality.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, this does not exist in the form, but in economic reality.
Just like if I do something wrong with a customer in my office, then there is no contract between me and my customer. Actually, the organization will bear. Actually, I am representing my organization.
Exactly. But there is a collateral contract. That means you will be held responsible
Yeah,
for behaving
obviously.
that way, right?
Yeah.
So
But
if I also misbehave with the student, or I don't deliver on time and student has complained about regarding the tutor, so therefore that definitely I am also liable, and the student is our we need to satisfy the student.
yeah.
So this is known as collateral contract. Now there is absence of direct communication. I did not communicate with you. The institute communicated with you, right? Student did not communicated with me to teach him or her F4, but the institute communicated to me that there is a student for F4. Okay, so there was no direct communication initially between us, like during the process of accepting the offer, throwing the
Yeah.
offer and accepting the offer. We both were not directly involved in the communication, but we were communicating through the institute.
Institute.
Next. Okay, so I hope it's clear. We have completed this chapter. Ali is absent. Please mark his absence. Call him up, ask him what happened, what's wrong. Okay. So we are done with the contract part 1. Formation of contract part 1. We are done. Second, formation of contract 2, content of contracts, breach of contract, the law of torts and professional negligence. We'll be starting this up in the next class, inshallah. What else can we do? Okay, let's just pause till here because I would like you to really go and study for your test. Okay, make your part A, part G, and part H. Be thorough in it and appear for your test, which is happening today evening. The time will be announced in the group, inshallah. Okay. Any questions
Okay,
till here?
no, ma'am. Everything's clear.
Thank you so much. We shall continue this. I might take an extra class tomorrow because of the day we missed yesterday. I will announce it in the group. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you
Allah
so much.
Hafiz.
You too. Allah Hafiz.